At a time when powerful kings ruled their lands with an iron fist, seeking to expand their dominion and build vast empires, a new force began to rise in the Iranian plateau. These were the Persians, a people whose earliest mentions can be traced to Assyrian writings, where they were referred to as the Parsois. Alongside the Medians and Babylonians, the Persian tribes spent generations under the yoke of Assyrian rule. By 609 BCE, a monumental revolt erupted, shaking the ancient world to its core and causing the collapse of the once mighty Assyrian Empire. It was during this period that the semi-legendary figure of Achaemenid emerged, the first Persian king and founder of the Achaemenid dynasty. Though little was known about Achaemenids, his lineage would go on to establish one of the greatest empires in human history. The Federal system, which established a free society, explained so much of the war. The first Persian king and founder of the Achaemenid system was a monument which put Egyptian literature, poetry, and even music to shame. The first Persian king and founder of the Achaemenid system. Among the many Persian tribes, the Achaemenids were the most powerful. Over time, they ruled smaller tribes and expanded their territory. Yet, they remained under the rule of the Median Empire, until the rise of a man who would change everything. Cyrus II, better known as Cyrus the Great. Cyrus's ascent was fraught with challenges, and according to legend, his story began with an ominous dream. Herodotus, the Greek historian, recounts that Cyrus's grandfather, Astyages, king of Media, dreamt that Cyrus would one day rule all of Asia. Terrified of losing his throne, Astyages ordered the infant Cyrus to be taken to the mountains and killed. Yet the royal butler entrusted with this cruel task could not carry it out. Instead, he handed the child over to a shepherd, who raised Cyrus as his own. Years later, as a young man, Cyrus learned of his true identity. With the support of the people, he rose against Astyages, dethroned him, and claimed the Persian throne, sparing his grandfather's life in a final act of mercy. Cyrus was no ordinary king. He was a brilliant strategist and a benevolent ruler whose vision extended far beyond Persia. Under his leadership, the Persians conquered the Median capital and expanded their territory to unimaginable heights. However, not everyone welcomed Persian rule. The Kingdom of Lydia, founded by Greek colonies in Anatolia after the fall of the Hittite Empire, resisted fiercely. Confident in the superiority of their cavalry, the Greeks underestimated Cyrus's forces. But the Persians, with their swift and highly effective horse and camel-mounted archers, defeated Lydia and brought it under their control. 539 BCE, Cyrus turned his attention to Babylon. The city, weary of the oppressive reign of King Nabonidus, welcomed the Persians as liberators. Cyrus restored order and won the hearts of the Babylonians by respecting their culture and traditions. One of his most famous acts was the liberation of the Jewish people, ending their long captivity in Babylon and allowing them to return to their homeland. He left his own men, who had a bad time of it there. This act forged alliances with Judea, which became a loyal buffer state against Egypt. Cyrus the Great was revered not only for his military prowess, but also for his extraordinary sense of justice. Unlike most conquerors of his time, he treated defeated enemies with compassion. Many were appointed to high positions within his government or army. He respected the religious beliefs of all the people he ruled and, remarkably, abolished slavery, an act unheard of in the ancient world. To solidify this groundbreaking decision, Cyrus issued what is known as the Cyrus Cylinder, a clay decree written in cuneiform script. It is often considered the world's first declaration of human rights. The decree boldly proclaimed, "I will prevent slavery. My rulers and subjects are enjoined to prohibit the exchange of men and women as slaves throughout their spheres of government. Such a tradition shall be eradicated." Under Cyrus, the Persian Empire became a harmonious realm of diverse cultures and peoples, a feat unmatched in the annals of history. In the 16th century, a certain Aegean compatriot called Hans led the soldiers against the Greeks as they defeated them at Sarathon. In 530 BCE, Cyrus the Great died from wounds sustained in battle against nomadic tribes. He was laid to rest in a modest tomb at Pasargadae, a humbling testament to a man who had ruled over one of the largest and wealthiest empires the world had ever seen. His successors carried his vision forward. The Persian Empire grew to encompass 8 million square miles, stretching across Asia, Africa, and Europe. Its military dominance was rooted in Persian culture, where warriors were celebrated for their bravery and strength. Persian horses, large, agile, and fearless, were the pride of their cavalry, and archery was considered a vital skill from childhood. The Nazarites witnessed the dragon rise up. The Persian army's elite unit, the Immortals, stood as an unshakable force. With 1,0,0,0 warriors who never faltered in battle, their ranks appeared to be endless, giving the illusion of soldiers returning from the dead. The Persians were not just conquerors. They were builders, thinkers, and pioneers of civilization. Their most luxurious city, Persepolis, was a marvel of architecture, initiated by King Darius I. Remarkably, the city was constructed by free laborers, both men and women, who were paid according to their skills. The Persian religion, Zoroastrianism, founded by the prophet Zarathustra, is considered the world's first monotheistic faith. Its teachings included concepts of heaven, hell, a coming savior, and the final judgment, ideas that would influence major world religions for centuries to come. By 499 BCE, the vast size of the empire became both its strength and its weakness. Tensions with the Greeks in Macedonia, Thrace, and Lydia erupted into constant revolts. Under King Darius I and his son Xerxes I, the Persians waged the famous Greco-Persian Wars. Battles like Thermopylae, Salamis, and Plataea became legendary, with the Greeks fiercely defending their independence. Despite their victories, the Persians eventually abandoned their dreams of conquering Greece. The empire's decline began with internal revolts and external pressures. In 334 BCE, Alexander the Great launched his campaign against Persia. After defeating Darius III at the Battle of Issus, Alexander captured Persepolis and brought the Achaemenid dynasty to its end. Although often misrepresented in popular culture as brutal invaders, the Persians were, in truth, an advanced and sophisticated civilization. They were visionaries in governance, culture, and human rights. Historians agree that Alexander the Great did not build an empire. He conquered one that the Persians had already established centuries before. Whether remembered as wise kings, skilled warriors, or compassionate rulers, the Persians left an indelible mark on human history, shaping the ancient world and laying the foundations for civilizations to come. Covet.
Hey!